Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be learning how to cut a very simple A-line dress with ruffles. Okay, so I've gone ahead to fold my fabric. So in order to get the right amount to fold, you have to divide your hip measurement by 4. Here I divided the hip measurement for this tutorial is 45 divided by 4 is 11.25. Okay, and I added 3 inches allowance. Okay, 1.5 ease allowance, 1.5 seam allowance, then I added an extra 5 inches on the hem. Okay, this is how to get the exact amount of fabric to fold. After all the calculation, your hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches plus an extra 5 inches. Okay, you can go as far as 6 or 7 inches. Okay, but I added 5 inches. This is to determine the amount of fabric to fold. Okay, so I went ahead and folded my material. The basic measurements you'll be needing is your bust measurement and your full length. Okay, so let's get started. I already marked a line for my starting point with the chalk, and I went ahead to mark my full length. And mind you, the full length, this is going to have a ruffle, so the full length is actually 43, but I want the length of my ruffle to be 13 inches, so I minus 13 inches from that 43 and I got 30 inches. So I was actually marking 30 inches plus half inch seam allowance. Okay, so I went ahead to mark the shoulder. The shoulder is 14. I divided it by 2 and it gave me 7. So I marked 7 inches and I added half inch seam allowance. So I actually marked 7.5 on the shoulder. I went ahead to mark my bust line, which is 8 from my shoulder line. Okay, and I marked 7.5 inch on my bust line again, just to connect it with a stretch curve from my shoulder to my bust line. Okay, now I'm going to impute my bust measurements, which is 39 divided by 4. I have 9.75. I added 1.5 inch ease allowance. Okay, it's not going to be tight, it's not going to be fitted, so 1.5 ease allowance for it to be free a bit on the bust, then 1.5 seam allowance, so a total of 3 inches. Okay, so I went ahead and connected it well. Then what I'm supposed to do now is to go ahead and connect my bust line to my hem line. Okay, my bust line to my hem line. I'm sorry the down part wasn't really showing on camera, but what I did was connect my bust line to my hem line. Okay, like just like so. Remember what we folded? We folded 45 inches, that is the hip, divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance, then extra 5 inches. Okay, you can even add as much as 6 or 7, but 5 inches is just okay. So I've connected the line to my hem. Okay, and then I went ahead to mark my neck width and my neck depth. I marked a neck width of 3 inches. Okay, this is for the front, and the neck depth of 2 inches. Okay, yes, this is depends on your choice. You can do 3 by 3, you can do 4 by 4. Okay, then I did my shoulder slant of 1 inch. Then to do your armhole curve, you're going to measure the length of your armhole, get the midpoint. The midpoint of my armhole is 4 inches, and I came in by half inch, and then I'm going to do my armhole curve like so. Okay, so to your armhole curve, and then right. So the next thing I did here was I measured 1 inch on my hemline. Yes, I'm sorry this is not showing really well, but I measured 1 inch on that area and I curved it. This is to avoid pointiness on that area. Okay, I just measured 1 inch and curved it on that side of my hem to avoid pointiness. Okay, so the next thing I did was to put I think allowance. Yeah, okay. So next thing I did was to add allowance on my neck line and my shoulder line. Okay, remember to do this because we are cutting directly on the fabric, so you want to add your necessary allowances. Here I was showing you that I don't need to add an allowance there because I already did on the shoulder line, remember. So going to cut it off, cut. Okay, so we don't cut in the front and then I placed it on another folded fabric. Okay, folded into two for the back. And sorry, I had to turn it the other way around because I was trying to save some materials or not to waste my fabric. So as you can see on the folded area, I left about 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. Okay, you can do 1.5 1 inch for the zipper allowance, but I did 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance. And then on the neck, for the back of the neck, I measured 1 inch. Okay, because I don't want the neck to be as deep, the back of the neck likes to be, the neck of the back pattern to be as deep as the neck of the front pattern. Okay, so that is basically the difference between the front and the back bodies. Okay, and then I cut. Here I was showing you that I added ½ inch on the armhole area for the back. Okay, so after cutting everything, I went ahead to cut the center of the back, that is cut open my back pattern, the zipper area. Okay, so that is all for this. It's quite simple, very easy. Like what I did here was to notch my zipper area on my back piece. Okay, so that I can know where to join or to add my zipper. Okay, the next thing I will go ahead to do is to join my back to my front, join everything together, and then measure the circumference of my hem. Okay, whatever I get, I'm going to times it by 3, and I already did that. And I cut out a long strip, okay, of fabric, 13 inches by length. Remember our ruffle length is 13, and I added 2 inches in my allowance. I'm going to join it to my hem, and then I did the same for the sleeve. I measured my armhole times 3 and I cut out a long strip, so I'm going to gather it to my sleeve like you're seeing in this picture. That's how the sleeve is going to be. Okay, so I was done joining everything. I gathered my hem, gathered my sleeve. Okay, this is what it looks like. Beautiful, right? It's pretty easy and so straightforward. Here is my neck, so fitted, no gaping. And here is what the back looks like. Okay, I didn't add a zipper, but I went ahead to join the back and I made a slit for easy wearing. Then I made a thread loop and added a button for it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.